Welcome to the final film from the Forest Film Festival's Hot Heist Movies collection, director Sidney Lumet's Dog Day Afternoon. Released in 1975 and starring Al Pacino in one of his earliest Oscar-nominated performances. Like its predecessors in our festival, this is also a robbery film, but we are entering a darker world now, one which is informed by Lumet's interest in social justice, and one in which Pacino's character is an anti-hero, a man who, in Lumet's words, summons the courage to challenge the system and who is a little guy against the system. The movie is based on an article published in 1972 in Life magazine about a small band of robbers led by a man named John Voitovich, who robbed a bank in Brooklyn on August 22nd, 1972. Voitovich sold the rights to his story to Lumet, who brought in Frank Bierson to write what would become the Academy Award winner for Best Screenplay for 1975. The film was nominated for a number of other awards and was a critical and commercial success, earning fine reviews for Pacino and Lumet and others, and grossing $50 million on an investment of $400,000. Pacino was 25 years old at the time the movie was filmed and had been trained as a method actor at the Actors Studio in New York. When Voitovich, who had been convicted of the robbery charges, was asked who he thought should play him in the movie, he actually said it should be either Dustin Hoffman or Al Pacino. His character, as played by Pacino, would come to be known as Sonny Wertzik in the movie. John Canizzale, who had co-starred with Pacino a couple of years before in The Godfather, agreed to play Sonny's sidekick, Sal. Lumet selected the title Dog Day Afternoon to suggest a hot, humid New York City summer afternoon. An uncommon feature of the film is that it has no score. The only music present are 3 diegetic songs. Diegesis is a term in the film industry which refers to using only sounds which would have been heard by the characters. Nothing foreign may be introduced. The first song is heard under the titles at the beginning of the film. Elton John is singing his 1970 song, Amarina. And fragments of 2 other songs are heard on the radio playing in the bank during the robbery. Sidney Lumet was a distinguished director. Born into a family of Jewish immigrants and actors, he made his acting debut at the age of 4 and later trained professionally at the Actors Studio. Before his Hollywood days, he had a busy career in New York theater and television, both as an actor and a Broadway and TV director, and became the leader of a generation of directors to make their way to Hollywood from a background of television directing. He was known as an actor's director because of his early career as an actor, and he was an advocate of realism rather than fantasy, making films about social ills and injustice, which is aptly demonstrated in this film. He preferred to work in New York and set many of his films there, and as Mayor Michael Bloomberg later said of him, he was a great chronicler of New York City. Lumet was nominated 5 times for Academy Award for Best Director, but never won, although a number of his films won other Oscars and additional awards. But he was honored by the Motion Picture Academy with an individual Academy Award for Lifetime Achievement for his work. A short plot summary. 3 amateur bank robbers concoct a rudimentary plot to rob a neighborhood branch bank in a working-class neighborhood in Brooklyn. The youngest man gets cold feet early in the heist and chickens out, leaving the leaders, Sonny, and his sidekick, Sal, to continue on. What the 2 men thought would be as easy as pie suddenly becomes a bizarre nightmare when everything goes wrong that can possibly go wrong. Fun facts about the film. The actual bank was at the corner of Avenue P and East 3rd Street in Brooklyn. Lumet's location scouts found a warehouse nearby which they decorated as a bank. This set was so authentic that local people walked in to try to open accounts. Lumet allowed neighbors to remain in their homes if they wished during filming, and some can be seen hanging out of open windows, gawking as real-life bystanders would, becoming, in effect, would-be extras. Pacino agreed to play the part of Sonny, but backed out briefly because he was physically and emotionally exhausted from his just-completed roles in The Godfather 1 and 2. When Lumet reluctantly offered the role to Pacino's rival, Dustin Hoffman, Pacino relented and came back to the set. Lumet was a big fan of improvisation while still adhering to the screenplay. So most of the dialect was ad-libbed, notably the scene in which Pacino stalks around in the street in front of the bank, yelling, "Attica, Attica, Attica," as he eggs on the crowd of spectators. The Attica rant is a reference to the brutal riots and killings in Attica prison in upstate New York 2 years earlier, and Sonny uses it to rile up the largely working-class crowd. This movie came to be used as an example in criminal justice training to demonstrate how to deal with a severe hostage situation and an out-of-control crowd. The real robber, Voitovich, had watched the Godfather films to get ideas on how to pull off his heist. During production, Pacino slept only 2 hours a night, ate sparingly, and sometimes took cold showers in order to emphasize Sonny's disheveled, exhausted yet wired appearance. The only lights that were used during filming were those that would be present in reality, such as the fluorescents in the bank, street lights, and automobile headlights. Things to look for: the 3 diegetic songs, the use of reality lighting, the Attica rant. So settle down, sip a cool drink, and enjoy Dog Day Afternoon. Please do remember there may be a slight delay before the film rolls. Be patient, it will come. And I will see you in another week with a whole new theme and brand new movies.